Welcome to the new Mercedes GLA 250. I came here to make this iPhone 6 video review of a GLA 250. You notice this car right away because of the rear lights were larger than usual on a smaller vehicle, but you notice this car right away. It's got some very sharp looks. Look how wide this car is. That thing's that's an amazing car. Very nice. All right. So it looks like it's got space for that many.
Mercedes feels like the cold air when it's right on your bones is stiffening. Yeah, it gives it a little layer of air that doesn't.
So basically, you open this up. This is exactly what you see in the CLA. So this is the old quality of materials. Like for instance, you don't see a headrest button like you see in the new C-Class. Unlock and lock buttons like the new S-Class. But overall, good outfit. Really nice. Very nice. Let's see. Is it? Oh, power. Oh, okay. This one has a manual steering wheel setup. Okay, so. Okay, and one thing I have to say, Mercedes new cars, all of them are so ridiculously spacious. Look at this, look at this. Oh, and by the way, I'm shooting at 1080p, 60 frames per second. So this is how much space I have in a GLA. Let me lock that in. Boom, here we go. So that's me. I got plenty of knee space. If I lounge out in my chair, lounged out, really nice and lounged out, I can have this inexpensive GLA. Now this is what the back looks like when the hatchback is open, so take a good look at that. The rear seat looks like it has probably about enough headroom for me so long as I slouch while I sit. Obviously, because I'm such a tall person, I can't, like, if you look at the top of my head, because I'm such a tall person, obviously this is a smaller car. Like, for instance, let's say that you've been hit really hard by the economy. And let's say you don't have the credit or you don't have enough money to get yourself one of those $56,000 MLAs or the, I'm sorry, ML classes. All these letters are so confusing. But let's say you don't have enough money to get yourself an ML, but you want to be just like mommy and you want to have an ML so that you could show everybody you're a rich woman. Well, this is what you'd get. You get yourself a GLA. So you spend a little bit less money, but you don't end up feeling like you're broke. This is that GLA. Same materials that you noticed in the CLA. Now, the problem, however, I do see, you know, all of those people who are like, oh yeah, Mercedes, you shouldn't be making cars like that and allowing people to buy inexpensive cars. Oh, you should be everything should cost $50,000 and $60,000 or higher. You know, the one thing that I will say, and I will acknowledge some of the haters of the inexpensive brands of Mercedes, the inexpensive brand names. The one thing I will say is that materials like this, you expect to see in Hyundai. When you get into a C-Class, a new C-Class, and you see the materials that they're putting in that C-Class at $50,000, you really kind of don't expect to have levels of plastic like this. Now, granted, everything still looks good, and granted, it still says Mercedes Benz on the back. But it's a trade-off. To give you lesser feeling materials, they had to cut back. So, this is the command knob. Obviously, just like the CLA, nothing new here. Command knob allows you to scroll through the nav map. Let's go. You could go back, push the back button. Hopefully you can see the whole thing. Push the back button, and the back button takes you to different places. Now if you want to move the map and you want to select a destination, you have to move this knob. It's a little annoying considering, like for instance, I want to go to Oceanside, right? I want to go right there in Oceanside. I go there, and then I push the button, boom, once, and it says, yeah, what do you want to do? Do you want to go there? So if I want to set that as a destination, I say, yeah, give me that as a destination, and ask you, what do you want to do? It's a straightforward interface. It's exactly like iPod's click wheel. It's very straightforward, very easy to use, and when you move this button up, you can also see how, if you've never used a Mercedes before, it's very easy to get to things like your phone, video system, and lets you see things about the car when the car is activated, and this, that, and other. It's very, very, very straightforward. No surprises. No surprises at all. So if you've tested a GLA-Class, you already know exactly what to expect. My criticism still comes from the fact that it takes a while to get used to having a nav screen that looks like this, because normally whenever you see something like that, it looks like it was added on later. It looks like a what is it called, an aftermarket add-on. I expect to see everything built right into the dash, because once you get used to an S-Class, everything looks lesser if it's not designed like that. Most new cars, Lexus, whatever, most new cars do the same thing. They build this right into the top. But there's a new government regulation that says that any of these displays have to be as high to the driver sight as possible, so this way you don't look down as much. I can understand why they did it, but some people are going to criticize, some people are going to say it looks cheap. One thing I will say is it makes it easier to take this off and put either the larger model on or the smaller model, so that means that it's easier to maintain. Other than that, it's a pretty straightforward car. Let's take a look at the back. I'm gonna stop and pause I'm gonna stop the video and then I'll restart it, so this way I don't lose anything. I don't want to corrupt the file by accident. Okay, so I'm out. Let's open up the back. See what kind of space is here. So you can see there's not a lot of space in here. Now if you're some little rich woman and you don't need anything as big as the ML, then you could get this and you could be passable with this. This is great for little soccer mom who's only got like 1 or 2 kids, and or a divorcee or something, or a widower. When it's not 4 of you, this car gets amazingly spacious. But if there's only 1 or 2 of you, you'll ride in style. You'll ride comfortably. Hey. Obviously, because you're not dealing with like V6s or V8s here. You're dealing with like turbocharged 4 cylinders and whatnot. So. Nice lighting. Everything's it's nothing you don't expect. I mean, it's simple, it's nice. There's nothing surprising about it. Okay. Pretty straightforward. Lighting is simple. It's nothing radical. Straightforward, good looking car, straightforward. Oh, it has a button? Yeah. Oh, some kind of sensor. Oh, okay, I see. It's got a little push button sensor. Oh, and it keeps going up. Oh, snap. You can make it go up more. It's like an auto stop. And there's the main button right there. Yeah, that's a standard feature in just about everything now. I love that. So, can I make it? Can I make it in there, or do I have to put the seat up a little? Everybody is swooning over the GLA and the CLA. You see, the thing about it is, with being, I get into a lot of arguments about which, oh my God, about which cell phone is better. The thing about it is, you know, Americans have become a bunch of badge whores. And it's not just Americans. Europeans, badge whores. Chinese people, badge whores, definitely. We've become a bunch of bad whores. And badge whores demand certain name brands, and they see that other name brands don't have equity. Now, the back of this thing is definitely not for me. It's a really nice car. You know, it's got the same vinyl, like, it has the same vinyl feel that all of the other cheap cars has. There's nothing wrong with vinyl because it's easy to keep clean. The problem comes, you know, if you have these dark colors. The dark colors look cheap unless you have a very good designer. The dark colors really do look cheap. You know, I'm trying to reach up there, move the seat up a little. But the back of this thing, my God, look at my head. Back of this thing, my head's right through the roof. So yeah, I'm 6'6" or so. This is the view out the back. See that? That's the view out the back. So some people might say, oh, there's not enough rear visibility. In my opinion, it's not bad. It's about, it's what you expect. It's about what you expect. But this vinyl, these dark colors, and these real, now I understand some people actually like that, but in these expensive vehicles, you expect to see more cashmeres, more nut colors like brown, and you expect to see tans and this, that, and other. But overall, I'm, you know, this is exactly what you'd expect out of a crossover made out of a CLA. Or this is exactly what you'd expect from a crossover designed similar to the CLA. The materials look the same as the CLA. And everything else, the feel of the car is a lot like the CLA. But it's a shame that to break the price barrier, you have to accept so many downgrades in material feel. But overall, it seems like a decent car. And from what I can tell, a lot of, like, for instance, I'm feeling this right here. It feels a little hollow. I mean, it feels like, it kind of feels a little cheap, but it feels a little hollow. This is a door pull, so. But for the most part, I think most people buying these cars enjoy the material feel. I think what it really is that they like having that name. Because to tell you the truth, from the feel of the interior, this is nothing different than what you'd get in a high-end Hyundai or even a Chrysler product. Some of the Chrysler products actually look nicer than this. But, you know, hey, it's got that TriStar on it, and that TriStar carries a lot of name equity. And name equity is what it's all about. Got this nice pano roof. Nice pano roof. Yeah, it's a good looking car. Fold down seats work like this. Tethers for your child seats. 12-volt outlet over there. That's nice. That's a nice. I didn't notice that before. Old C-Class. New CLA. Yeah, all this vinyl in here. They could slap anybody's name tag on this thing. It would be the same damn car. Checking to see how many of them fit me. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people plus the dealer. Yeah, typical turbo 4-cylinder car. Our S-Class makes all of these cars look like so much less. They got some good looking front ends. My thing is those fake vents right there. I don't like that at all. If they're not going to use vents like that to vent the brakes because they don't need to be vented, then what they really need to consider doing is putting fog lights there, or you know, some kind of LED fog light or something. Other than that, you know, oh, nice, very nice. This is a GLA 250, and it's one of the pre-sale models. It's a production vehicle. It's just that this one, it's not on sale yet. Now, from what I've been hearing, they're saying that the 4MATIC is going to come pretty much standard for the first couple of shipments, but later on they'll be making front-wheel drive models. Now, considering all-wheel drive is a luxury feature that most cars are leaving lots with now, most likely the front-wheel drive will obviously be cheaper, but they won't sell too well.
Appreciate Suffolk a lot more, right? Go out in big giant parking lots.
Well, yeah, they do cater more to people with cars.
Yeah, this is hot. There's not enough. that changes. I mean, I'm not worried about getting them and building them.
Oh, yeah, this is good. In fact, this is quieter than the engine in the C-Class. It's a little bit quieter if you're really stepping on it.
Yeah. You know, I like the ride of it too. This has got the sport wheel, a little harder, but the definitely solid feel. Mm-hmm. It's amazing the traffic starts to build up early.
In order to be as thorough as possible, what I did was I drove the car a couple of times, and I also rode as a passenger. One of the things I noticed about the GLA is, thanks to a high roof, it has a really good amount of headroom for people who may be as tall as I am, 6'6". If you're 6'7", you probably also would be able to get in here pretty comfortably. As far as driving goes, the engine noise is not as annoying as the new C-Class, and it's probably not as annoying as the new CLA. I guess you could chalk that up to sound deadening. But what I will say, this car has an eco button similar to the CLA, which helps you to save fuel while you're stopped in traffic. When that button is active, the car shuts off the engine, and it makes it so that it's not using fuel. When it starts up, the startup is pretty okay. It can be a little sluggish at times because the car chooses when it wants to go into that mode. The other thing I should say is the car has a brake setting which allows you to stop the car, and if you double press the brake, you can make the car stay in brake mode. And that can help you if you're on hills, for instance, or if you just need a panic brake. Ride quality is very good. It's typical Mercedes Benz, solid chassis. I'm going to check out one of my friend's brand new BMW X3s to compare that truck to this one. But if you're looking for a truck like this, I would say that it's a very solid buy. This is a GLA-AMG, turbo AMG. Wow, some nice wheels. It's a nice color. Nice color, nice spoiler. The spoiler's interesting.
Yeah, they want it to stand out a little bit. All the AMGs, make your exhaust, the wheels.
Yeah, and I noticed this one has the white, colorful interior. Like that's the option on the. That's the option on the regular one. That's not an AMG, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. It's really nice. Yeah, see, the brighter colors look really good. I like that. What is it?
This is different because it's got a shifter. The AMG, they put the
right. I noticed that.
Console, the other one's up on the...
Yeah, that's nice. Basically, it's a lot like the CLA. Yeah, I like this. This is really awesome. Ground effects.
I just tell him to call this number.
This is a GLA-AMG version. This is a blacked out version. This is what this thing looks like blacked out. Kind of looks a lot like a GTI. I hate to say that, but it does. You know, it's got that obnoxious spoiler on top. I was thinking about getting one of these things, but probably not the AMG version. I really would get the AMG version if it was for me, but it's for other purposes, which I won't go into detail about. But this is pretty slim. Nice wheels, carbon ceramics. This looks good. Yeah. The regular version's actually a pretty snappy ride. It's good enough for average traffic, so it's not like you'll be at a loss for power with one of these things.